Hi, my name's Rich,
And I'm Dan.
and we are Behind the Pass. This is our first podcast. We're gonna give it a go and see what the whole vibe's like, and we're gonna talk shit about chefs and chefing and our life, and hopefully we can give you a bit of an insight. And we're just gonna chat and talk and see where it brings us.
Yeah, just to let you know about the ins and outs of what we have to go through and what we see. And
The pain and suffering.
I've always said I just wish I wrote everything down because there's that many stories of things that have happened. It's ridiculous.
Do you know, I actually have no photos or anything of any of my food.
Joking, I've got loads, mate.
No, none.
I just take them for laugh now.
Especially when I worked at a few places, like the busiest place when I worked at Leeds, I had nothing. So I took no photos. I got about 4 photos. I've got recipes, all stacked up, but they're all old school recipes that you probably not even relevant anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Even if I pulled it out, I don't feel like the recipe would be relevant in this day and age.
No, they're not fucking. There were no rationales back with all them probes and different settings and stuff like that can
all drop down ovens.
God, yeah, the battle scars from that.
Yeah. So we've had a couple of questions. Quite a few people have asked us to make this podcast and said it'd be a good idea. So for the first sort of episode, we're going to use what people have asked us to do and sort of narrate from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
So my one is a good one, was people ask us loads of questions. Like, what's your favourite thing to cook? So I googled a few of the questions to see what the internet said. And it said 5 questions that all chefs get asked. And number 1 is, what is your favourite thing to cook?
I absolutely fucking hate that question. It's like asking a bus driver what's your favourite road to drive on. It's a shit question.
I don't have a favourite thing to cook.
No, we're good at all of it. That's why I'm a chef.
I see you big-headed bastard. We're good at all of it.
But there's a difference in it from home cooking to what we do. So when someone's going, oh, my special dish is like a bolognese, and you go, oh, okay, I made that for a funeral. Like, well done. Oh, I can cook the best chicken. Yeah, but can you do a wedding with 100 of them? No. Just sit down, Karen.
I just think what's your favourite thing to cook is just a bit
bland.
I don't know. I consider our career as you're not a master of anything. You're a jack of all. So we're good at everything. We're just not amazing at it.
Yeah, an all-rounder.
Yeah, a solid all-rounder.
Yeah.
So when people say, what's your favourite thing to cook, I just think, to be honest with you, I don't even know what to say.
Oh, God, there's so many bullshit answers I give.
See, I'm a typical larder chef, so I do like making pâtés, starter dishes, curing meats, curing fish. So I think if you want to pinpoint something, that would be my forte. But to say what's your favourite thing to cook, I think it's so generic that it can't be answered.
No. It's just the amount of proteins that we can cook and do stuff with, and I just think, well, personally, I like cooking duck, but Joe don't like it. So I can't really tell people.
I mean, to be fair, they don't fucking like anything.
No.
Can't sous vide anymore.
No.
Well, you can, but
yeah, got to jump through every hoop.
The risk assessment.
Yeah. Just to be able to put a piece of meat in some water. Yeah. Just think it's the safest way of cooking at the moment, and just stopping people doing it.
So officially, what's your favourite thing to cook? Nothing. A little bit of everything.
Yeah. Pot noodle.
Right, that's what we're paid to do.
Yeah.
Second question. I bet you eat the best food.
Well, yeah.
Which is the biggest overstatement I have ever heard.
Yeah, but I kind of get it. You taste the good stuff. I could tell you about you with your foie gras and
my
God, eating half a lobe in a service, and
that's probably the reason why I've got gout.
Yeah.
because I've eaten that much foie gras.
But
I am sorry, vegetarians and vegans out there. I am very sorry.
I'm not.
Foie gras was my thing.
Yeah. No one's going to convince me otherwise that it's not bang on. No better than just melting some of that over a steak. Oh, God.
Yeah, but like we don't sit down and eat a meal.
No,
It's
no,
not
we
a
just
thing.
taste. It's just small amounts like canapes and stuff.
Fucking tasting.
Yeah, I taste things.
But it says what I bet you eat the best food.
Oh, yeah.
Like sitting down with a knife and fork.
No, you eat with a spoon out of a pan. That's what you eat.
What I do find funny about chefs is that we make all this incredible food, and then we would happily finish service, clean down, and then go to McDonald's drive-through.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll make like a venison dish with celeriac puree and all that malarkey. Spend hours developing a dish, and then I would happily sit in a McDonald's car park and smash through 2 double cheeseburgers and think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. It's just what you need at the end of a shift, though, isn't it? It's my tipples are nice little beef. And
So the conclusion to that answer is we get to taste nice food. We don't get to eat it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we eat shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're coming home and eating pot noodles on the night, that's what we're...
I know a lot of chefs that go home at like 12:30 at night and order a takeaway.
Oh, yeah.
What fucking Chinese is open that late at
Ones
night?
want to make money out of chefs.
You think they just cater to chefs?
Yeah, that's it.
12 o'clock
When
at
it gets
night.
to that point, they'll give it, don't scrape it off for and give him it, he don't matter, he's going to eat it.
But, yeah. Next question. Cooking all day sounds like a dream job. I mean, I don't even know how to answer that.
You try it. You try it. You stand there over a hot stove and you tell me when you're 12 hours into a shift that you enjoy that. I do though, but in a certain way. Like, you get used to it and you think, this is where I like being, but it's not enjoyable at the time.
No, I don't know. It's amazing creating things.
It's a satisfaction when you finish your day. Satisfaction of what you've done and the things that you've made. That satisfaction is brilliant.
Definitely is a good feeling when you're cleaning down and you think, I've smashed out 200 covers and yeah.
Yeah, everyone's left happy, apart from chefs.
Yeah. So cooking all day sounds like a dream job. It is a dream job, but it's just soul destroying.
Yeah.
No friends.
Oh, social life's gone. It's pointless.
Social life.
It's gone. Yeah. When all young kids come through into the thing and they're coming with the tweezers and they're like, oh, I can't wait to be a chef, and you think, just you wait.
Yeah. All them friends you have gone.
Can I have a Friday night off, chef? Okay.
Friday night.
You're taking piss. Oh, my family going out for lunch on Sunday. Oh, I hope they enjoy it, but you won't be.
The only social life I used to have is, what I'd do is, I'd finish service, I'd have a little cheeky tipple when service finished, then I would go out on the piss, and then I would get back into work, non-disclosure by the way, I would get back into work like a spring chicken,
rope.
and I would do a breakfast shift.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better just to stay awake and ride it out, innit?
Yeah, no, that's what I used to do.
Go to sleep. Because you feel like crap when you wake up.
I used to feel horrendous, but that was the only time we could really go out and go and get pissed and stuff. It was just the thing. It was just what we did, but...
It just seemed to be the norm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I just loved finishing work and just that first beer and you go, oh, I'm going to have to stop soon.
So conclusion, cooking all day sounds like a dream job. It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
No social life, no friends.
I just love like people to I tell you what, just stand next to me for a full day and just watch. Just stand there. Like, I'm not expecting you to cook out, just stand there and watch. If I ask that question.
Yeah. What's another question? I bet you cook fancy food.
Yeah.
I bet you cook fancy food. What type of question is that like? 'Cause I bet you cook... is it fancy? I don't know what...
Well, people think things are fancy, but to us, they're not. It's like back years ago, I remember someone told me samphire were really fancy. I'm like, Well, it's really not.
Yeah.
It's just a very salty sea veg.
I'm sorry, but I fucking love samphire.
I like it, but I won't call it fancy.
No, it's not fancy.
It's just like
I just love the shit.
Oh.
It's hard I think it's hard to get hold of samphire.
Oh God! Well, that's another question itself. Like what people find hard to get hold of, I don't understand why they do, because we just pick up a phone and ring it and we get it. So it's seasonal stuff.
Do you get it from a fish supplier?
Yeah, I get it straight from fish supplier.
You see, I don't. I get it from a veg supplier.
Oh,
Game changer.
it's a veg, isn't it? Sea veg.
Well, yeah.
I just think like it's bringing it from coast. I get it. We get like different sea cresses, sea herbs, purslines, and nice. We get nice stuff.
So I'm going to conclude that question and say, I bet you cook fancy food. We get paid to do as we're fucking told.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you can't beat that answer.
No,
because that literally is what we do.
That's 101. Yeah.
And last question on here is, do you want to open your own restaurant? I mean...
Yeah, every chef does, but the reality if you're doing it is when you look at the statistics, 80% businesses fail in first year. Do you really want to take that risk right away?
Yeah, I understand that. And the money you need to open your own restaurant. And the backing and the business loans. And, let's say you open and your target demographic is not what your customer needs.
Yeah.
You stuffed it instantly. So it's game over. So, do most chefs want to open their own restaurant? Absolutely. Do you think it's possible? I think it's possible, but I do think you need to have a solid business plan, and you need to be in the area and have the business plan to hit your clients' needs.
Yeah, I think you've got to have experience.
Yeah.
You've got to just have the package, haven't you, to understand.
Yeah. So that sort of concludes the questions that people have asked us, and then the couple of bits that we've wrote down.
I think you've missed the main question.
What's the main question?
What's your favourite dish?
What's my favourite dish? Fucking hell.
What's your favourite dish?
To cook?
Yeah.
Not to eat?
Any? What's your favourite dish? You're a chef.
Well, honestly, my favourite dish to eat, I'm not going to lie, is fish and chips.
Oh.
Get the fucking batter right, you're loving it. With pasta sauce as well.
Oh, God.
Like my grandma used to make.
See, this is where we disagree on this, because I don't mind the fish and chips, but apparently I'm a wrong for not wanting batter as much as all the batter.
Yeah, just for everybody out there, me and a lad called Andy and Dan went to a fish and chip shop, and Dan picked all the fucking batter off and ate the fish.
I didn't want the batter.
The batter's the best bit. You cannot take the batter off.
Why, just get scraps in. Just get a pan of scraps on your chips.
No. You cannot sit there and take the batter off the fish. It's not social, especially in Yorkshire where we're from. You just cannot do that.
Just after.
So unfortunately, we can't go to a fish and chip restaurant ever again.
I can eat the batter, I just don't. I prefer the fish.
I bet you walk in, don't you, to a fish and chip shop, and I bet you say, "Can I have a lightly battered one?"
I've never asked for a lightly battered
And
one.
an old bird turns round and goes, "Can I have a lightly battered, Julie?" And she puts, like they do, they put lightly battered, and you have to wait an extra 10 minutes
for it to drip.
Stand up back
just
at
flour it, love. Just flour it. Drop it in fryer.
So go on then. What's your favourite dish to eat?
To eat. I like a steak. I just like a steak.
Oh, you're so fucking boring. What steak?
Well, you know what? A rump
if you don't say
picante.
A
rump cap.
I thought you were going to say ribeye.
It. No, I like ribeye. It's a fatty, beautiful piece of meat. Fillet shit.
So you're going for Argentinian picante?
Picante.
Is it Argentinian?
No, not really. It's just a rump cap, isn't it? So it's just the top part of the rump. But it's just good roasting joint. But as a steak, I think it's just a really soft piece of meat. But
to be fair, I do appreciate a flat iron.
There's
a restaurant in Leeds, and I think they're all around London and stuff. Like they just do a flat iron. They do other steaks and stuff, but they do a flat iron. It's really cheap. They just grill it on the grill, obviously. But it's just simple. It's just simply done.
I think actually I'd take that back if flat iron probably.
Yeah.
but marinated in like whiskey and
But when
Guinness.
I were coming up, the flat iron were a shit piece of meat.
Oh, yeah, braising steak. Just chuck it for braising off of burgers or.
So I'm like, can you remember the pig's cheeks?
Oh yeah.
Like,
No reason
horrendous. Like, 10, 15 years ago, it was never used, never even thought of to use. And now it's most expensive part of pig.
Yeah.
It's just mad how it all turns. What's your favourite dish to cook then? We just defeated his own questions there. We've just talked about people asking shit questions, and then I've just asked you, what do you like cooking?
Yeah, but because you've got to kind of answer it, haven't you? But you can give a proper answer to a chef, but not to like a Doris or something. You can't really. Oh, the thing is to cook. I don't know, old school lobster thermidor.
Really?
Yeah.
You old bastard.
I like a proper lobster thermidor. I just think when you do it, it's just got that kind of elegance to it. Of.
So do you blade your lobster, take it out, semi-cooked, chop it up, mix it with your herbs and spices and all that malarkey, and then put it back in, hollandaise over top, grill the fucker.
Yeah. I make like a nice, I make a sauce, I make a thermidor sauce. I'll make it with like bechamel base, and then put lots of mustard through it, and just get it really nice and flavoursome. Loads of lemon on it, grilled lemon through it.
I do like making a sauce out of the shells.
Oh, bisque, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Smell
with
that
shitloads
smell
of
of that
butter.
though. The smell when you open that oven for the first time when you've roasted hot langoustine bones.
Loads of butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What ratio for bisque if you do it right? It should be like 50 gram of bisque and 200 gram of butter, just for a portion.
And butter's gone really expensive now.
Yeah.
Everything's fucking expensive.
Yeah. I've locked in a price on mine, so I'm not too bad.
Oh, I'm a big boy now.
That's not for me.
I'm locked in price in.
After.
I like, I don't, to be honest with you, I don't actually like cooking. Like, my favourite is back to the curing meats and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a science, an art. I think curing your own fish, especially the salmons and things like that, I just think it's an art form in its own right. So I like, especially when you can make pâtés and things like that. I just think it speaks for itself when you put the work in doing the prep, and then it's quite easy to put it on the plate and then tart it up a little bit. I get more value out of that than aggressively cooking on a stove. Yeah. I just think I get more pride in my prep work than the actual cooking of it.
Yeah.
So if I was to go into
back prep is ladder, and it's just it's a lot of getting things ready. So you've got to be set. So it's more you've got to be an organised person, and you've got to have your things in the right place. And
so just talking in terms of for people out there that don't know the different sections. So in different kitchens there are different sections. So I'm not obviously going to base it on what's down in London or what's up north, but the general consensus of a kitchen is you have your pass, so they do the main footfall of all the plating, the garnishing of the heavy items, mainly your main course.
It's where everything should go through.
It's
the final testing point.
It's usually where your head chef and your exec chef stand. They monitor all your plates going across your pass, and they sort of check everything as it goes out. Then usually, to either one or the other side, you've got your larder section. So your larder section usually deal with what we would call as starters, but they deal with like your curing meats, your salmons, your pâtés, your soups, all your fine stuff, heavy prep, easy service. I personally think.
Yeah.
Then you pass over to your fish side. Obviously, self-explanatory. Deal with all your fish, but they stick to their own. So in my kitchens that I've worked in, they've always stayed to themselves.
Yeah.
So they don't really pass over the fish to the larder section. It's mainly for main course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a big turbots cutting down or salmon's filleting quickly, fish boys are best ones to do it.
Yeah.
They'll pass all over the salmons to larder, and then we can cure it up or portion it or whatever. But they do the main duty of the work. And then you've obviously got your sauce section. So they call it a sauce section, but you're not really saucing, or they do make the sauces.
Yeah.
But they deal with all your meat work, your heavy duty meat work, and for your main courses. What else have you got? You got your veg section.
Yeah, got them on jail.
Oh my god, the amount of painless. We'll come back to veg section.
Oh god, yeah. Veg at Christmas.
Veg at Christmas.
Yeah.
Then you've got your pastry section. Self-explanatory. They do all your pastries, your afternoon teas. I've never considered myself a pastry chef. I've done it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
I can do pastry. There's a lot of waiting, and I think for me, I'm too impatient for that. I get really wanting to get the next job. You've got to focus. So when I do pastry, I've got to really detach away from my other jobs that I've been doing 50 at the time. I've got to detach away and just make macarons, or just make them scones, or just make that. So you kind of have to stop a bit and do it all, and like do it bit by bit. Just like there's too much timing and stuff like that for it. And I can do it, but it's just frustrating.
Yeah, I'm horrendously shit at pastry, I'm not going to lie. I just, you know when it says you have to weigh like 160 gram, I'll be like, yeah, 165, yeah, just 170 or whatever, I don't give a shit. And then eventually it comes out absolutely bastardised, like this cake.
You got to follow the recipe.
And then I blame, and then I blame the recipe, even though I didn't follow it. So yeah, pastry's
got
not
the wrong
right.
fucking flour in this box. It's not me that's the way they are wrong. Someone's put self-raising up plate one way around.
So pastry's not my vibe. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it, but it's got to be. You've got to kind of have your time on there. It's kind of stop being bothered. And my day's entirely just about being bothered. That's literally my entire day. Yeah. I can't go. I don't think I could go 30 seconds without someone ever calling my name, or shouting chef, or ringing down, or someone needing something from somewhere.
You just can't focus. And then obviously you've got your banqueting team, which obviously deal with conference and banqueting, all the heavy duty plated dinners. Man, them guys can work.
Weddings.
Them guys can put a shift in.
But once again, that's all about prepping. It's all about being organised.
You have to be organised. Yeah. I think anything banqueting related.
Some of the best banqueting chefs that I've worked with, they're not the most, they'll be out the depth in a restaurant environment, but you put them and say, I need 200 of these doing, it's not a problem. It's almost like a consistency thing of, you don't get 100 amazing dinners, you get like 100 really good ones.
Yeah.
But really good doesn't work in a restaurant, whereas really good works for a banquet.
Yeah.
Which sounds really shitty when you think they're paying a lot of money, but
it's
a numbers game, and it's, you've got to have good organisation skills, and you've just got to be good at managing your time. Some people that have claimed to be banqueting chefs in my time, you look and you think, God, that's just
can't peel a fucking onion.
Yeah, it's just poor. Like, you're bailing people out constantly. You think, why are you just?
I think as well, for a banqueting chef, you have an expectation.
Yeah.
You have an expectation to go in and deliver, regardless of what the situation is. I think it's a lot different to service. I think when you do look for a banqueting chef, it has to be very generic.
Yeah.
I think when you're looking through CVs and things, that they have to fit that criteria, because they have to adapt to anything.
Yeah.
They have to literally be a jack of all, a master of none.
Yeah.
Because them people have to turn around and say they feed 500 people or 200 or a buffet. It has to be executed.
And you don't have to do one a day.
Yeah.
Like, you could be having 2 or 3 functions going on. Like, we worked at a place, and when me and Rich worked together before, there could be 7 weddings on it a day. You're like, oh God.
Horrendous.
Back in them days, it was just. But then you'd also have a function, and you'd also have a conference lunch in, and you'd have a spa lunch in, and then you've got a restaurant dinner, restaurant lunch, afternoon tea.
I don't think there's actually time. I don't even know how we did half of stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just a blur, isn't it?
There's moments that just flash up, and I can't wait to tell some stories about these moments.
Well, we skipped over veg section.
Yeah.
Which I personally think, well, I've worked in a couple of places. So when you start as a commie or a junior or a trainee, you start on veg section. which is just a brutal decider of whether you're fit for this life. Because honestly, I used to sometimes I'd peel that many carrots, I'd have to go and soak my hands in bath, sit in bath and soak my hands just to get the colour out.
Like a strong old lumper.
Yeah. Where there were times where me and a group of commies, there were about 3 of us, would walk in. So when we did service years ago, they'd obviously have our put on veg section. So you'd have your plated dish, so it'd have say your chicken, as your main course you'd have your chicken and your fondant potato and a tomato and a mushroom, let's say, as a standard garnish.
Yeah.
But then, in a separate bowl, family service, we call it, you'd have a veg and a potato. So you'd have a mixed veg, panache, as it'd be called, and a potato dish. So it could be like bollinger or whatever, it could be dauphinoise, anything. Roast potatoes. So we would have to go in and prep that. So we'd prep it for the day and then the day after, and then we'd have to do all the veg for the conference and banquet inside. So we're literally doing like 10 bags of carrots, peeled, banned, courgettes.
Just before someone says, bag of carrots ain't that big.
It's 25 kilos.
It's a sack.
Carrots.
Yeah, it's a sack of carrots. Not the Asda price ones.
No.
It's not the Asda bag 10 of them ones. No, it's a sack.
So yeah, we're literally peeling like 120 kilos of carrots a day, and then like 7 cases of courgettes, red onions as well. They had to be halved, peeled first skin off, and then blanched. It were horrendous.
Yeah.
Swede, turnips, the lot. Is a Swede a turnip? What is a turnip?
Turnips part of the root family, and it's Swede. It's in the same kind
of... sound really fucking thick there.
No, it's in the same family because everyone's got different names for things. It's this American
I've not
shit.
cooked a turnip in years.
No.
The last turnip...
Navis, baby turnip. Navis.
That was about 5 years ago.
Yeah. I got something not long ago.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, he's doing 80s cooking.
I know. Love it. Kids love it.
So yeah, that's the main... I mean, obviously in kitchens, when you go to London and things like that, they have a different setup, and just that's where we've sort of worked.
Yeah.
I mean, we've worked together a few times. We don't work together now. I don't think I could work for you. Could I work for you?
I'm a good boss.
That's a good boss. Like a boss would say to himself, I'm a good boss.
I'm alright. I know my team are very, I don't know.
If you got hit by a bus, can your team step in?
I reckon they can, yeah. Some of them, yeah, they can step up. The thing is that I've got, where you build people around you, and you inherit and you build, and you try and get relations, and you've got to remember that I'll see them more than I see my family. So they are, no matter, you've got to get along, and they're very high tempered, really highly strung, stressful places, kitchens.
Yeah.
You think it's just constant noise, it's just constant heat. There's always something going on. It's just stressful. So if you can get a group of people that you can tolerate being around, there's always arguments. Always an argument. Like I had 2 guys at my kitchen not long ago. Certainly not long ago, probably a year ago. They had an argument about nothing and didn't speak for 6 months apart from yes and no.
I don't agree with that.
It's
see in the kitchen
like a barrier thing that they were just both very stubborn about it, and it's all the best mates now. Like it's just but it was that kind of thing of like no one wanted to, they didn't want to admit fault, and they were just whinging and
cannot work in a kitchen and have that disagreement. See in my in the kitchens I've worked in the past, you have an argument, 15 minutes it's done.
Well, service is service.
Done, dusted.
Yeah, service is service.
I've once gone outside and had a go with another chef. Like toe-to-toe, squaring up, nearly scrapping, and then 15 minutes I said, come on, we need to get on with service. And then we're back in kitchen, cooking away together.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember you throwing a pan at somebody in the kitchen when I was in the kitchen, and within 2 hours we were middle of service, waiting for beers, and then we had to wait for a beer, and at night all of us together. We sat outside.
Done some horrendous shit, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say most kind of stuff on this because it's just, you set your fireplace in hell and you think, More to go in there, like.
But I do think mental health has played a massive part in that. So, like, I have spoke to people like a piece of shit, and I do feel regret. And to be fair, like, it still does come out every now and again, and I do sit back and I think, you know, why the fuck did I say that? Like, it's just not a thing anymore. And I do think you need to channel into people's feelings these days. And I do think there were a turning point, and I worked. There were a young waitress, and I absolutely destroyed her. And the guilt, I don't know what came over me. So I went out for a cigarette, and I just really thought about what I did. And for the first time ever, it actually hit me that could be somebody shouting at my door.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that it's on, doesn't it?
And I would, do you know what I mean? If somebody shouted at my door like that, I would smash their head in.
Yeah.
So, and then I went home, and then I started to really ponder on the actual impact that I had on that waitress. The next day I went back, and I said, look, I pulled her aside and I said, look, I'm really sorry. That is not the person I want to be. It's not who I should be, and that's not how I should talk to people, to be honest with you. And then after that conversation, my whole dynamic of chefing changed, literally, in that day, from that girl. And now I try to get the most out of people. I try to talk to people with respect as much as I can. And then what seemed to develop then is, the more I treat people with respect and coach them, the more I get out of that person.
Yeah.
And it's just been my whole ethos now.
It was you that made me stop kind of being an arsehole. Because I you know,
you're still an arsehole,
yeah,
don't sugarcoat it.
You made me realise a bit better. I was literally going for a job, and you came round and we were talking about it, and you just went, you need to stop being a dick now. You need to just stop.
But it just clouds your judgment.
It does. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. I still get that rage where you just stand there and you think, I'm gonna tear someone's throat out now, because sometimes it's just blatant disrespect, and you stand there and you think, I am not standing here and taking absolute anything of a snotty nosed kid that thinks he knows best. And at that point, I'm kind of.
But you were that snotty nosed kid.
Yeah, but and then we got shouted at, and look where we are now.
Well,
it built me. It built you. It built us. So like, I think sometimes we can be too compassionate with the snowflakes. I think. Well, I don't want them to be upset when they come to work at all. That's not the reason for, there's no reason to shout someone to make them upset about. But you have to correct people if they're doing something wrong by telling them. And I feel like some people can take it really funny, no matter how you tell them. You tell them, you need to stop doing that. That can't happen. People pay money to come here and you're doing this. People don't get it.
I know. But have we trained ourselves to be like that? With the demand of the customers and how much they're paying, we've made ourselves like that.
Yeah.
And even when I've worked in fine dining, the expectation's still the same.
Yeah,
but actually,
it's almost like compressed stress. It's very under the microscope kind of stress of kitchens can turn on a knife edge, and it's because you've got loads of pent up frustration of wanting to get stuff done, you wanting to get it right, and then you've got someone that's just turned up at 6 o'clock at night after you've already been there for 12 hours, that's coming in, making himself a cup of coffee and eating a sandwich. You think, oh no, that's not happening today.
So, I'm going to ask you a question now off the cuff.
Yeah.
2 kitchens. I've seen a couple of kitchens on YouTube where none of them speak. Nobody speaks. There's only the head chef. He stands at the front and they all go, yes, chef. That's it. Quiet as a mouse. All you can hear is pans clinking, which, to be fair, to me is magic.
Yeah.
But it looks really tense.
Yeah, it's robotic,
environment.
yeah.
Or would you like an energetic service with a little bit of music in background? Everybody's enjoying themselves. It is a bit pressurised. There is a bit of arguing, a bit of yes chefing, you know, all that malarkey. But which one would you prefer?
If I had to pick one or the other,
So
like, there's no compromise in between.
You open your restaurant tomorrow,
and they're the only two options.
What theory are you got? What?
Also, my theory would be a pinch of both. Like, I think.
No, it's got to be one or the other.
See, I like the fact that people can be more energetic, and I don't want it silent, but I don't want music. I think music can be very distracting.
Oh, you see, I'm the opposite. See, I didn't used to be.
But my problem is, they stand there and people are like, oh, I'll put my song, I'll put a playlist on, you think, touch that fucking phone one time and rip it out your face. I don't want them to be stood there touching the phones all the time because it's just giving them an excuse to stand there on the phone. And it boils my piss. I don't, when I'm at work, all my team will tell you, they have to ring my phone to find out where it is because I'll put it down, I have no idea where I've put it, and I don't pick it up for hours because I don't need it. I'm at work.
You see, my management style's completely different to that. See, I let people use the phone.
Oh, I hate it.
But you see, I've switched, and this is what I mean. Like, post arsehole, like, yeah, no phones, no music, no nothing, like, graft head down, yes chef, all that malarkey. But now I've developed, I just think, these people and what we've done, we've worked 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts, head down, we don't even speak to his family, do you know what I mean? Don't even have time to send a text message. I just think if they want to play a bit of music, fuck it. Like,
I just think they got too far with it.
It just steals the mood a little bit.
There's so much variation that they'll want to go, oh, I want to put my music on, I don't want to listen to that. Or they'll go, oh, football's on, can we listen to the radio for football? And you think, no, because I know what you're going to do. You're not going to work. You're going to stand there all around the radio or you're around a phone watching it, or you're going to... That it bothers me.
So we've established now that if you want to work for Dan, you're going to struggle.
Yeah,
See, I've exposed him now.
Get Sky Plus.
Get Sky Plus.
Get it Sky Plus. Get it recorded. You can watch match when you get home.
Oh,
get a dodgy box. I'm not bothered. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with the music in the kitchen. I used to like play music in the kitchen, but I've come to realise that I like the silence of... Not sounds. I prefer hearing people talking. So I like it where people are talking, telling a story, telling a bit of whatever, just discussing what's happened, or the banter. Like, I just like listening to that kind of stuff.
No,
I prefer that.
Horrendous.
I
would like to know. I want to know how many chefs out there have said anything they want. Say, I do the same. I say anything I want.
Yeah, it's like.
But actually, actively get away with it. Like, if you were to work in a normal job, no chance.
10 minutes I'd be out of Asda, mate. I'd be sacked from Asda instantly because you'd turn around and you'd just say something, you go, I've offended about 15 different people.
The amount of people I would offend would be unreal.
But in a kitchen it's acceptable. You can say these things because it's kind of...
Who made it acceptable?
I don't know, but I like them.
Who turned round and said, like, you know, when somebody's having to go at somebody and say, hey, you're a fuck nugget, you. Who said, yeah, you can say that, that's fine.
That's alright, that's on the approved list. Yeah.
Oh, has anybody actually said, right,
you're
a fucking idiot, you should never be a chef. I'm going to HR, you can't say stuff like that. Has anybody ever said that?
Oh God, I've had people go to HR.
No,
I once refused someone's holiday because I forgot to put it in and went, I'm on holiday tomorrow. And because I said, well, that's not good enough, they went to HR and reported me for bullying.
Wow.
Yeah, and it went to a massive thing, and I'm stood there going, this kid is literally, he's forgot that he was going on holiday, and then just thought, you know what, I'm just going to say he's mentally bullying me. I'm really tired, I've done 6 hours this week. Oh, honestly, this is a reason why I'm probably so bitter against the generation of people that are up and coming. I'm not saying all of them, because there's some good people that are coming up, but there's some people working the system that they know what to play. Oh, my mental health situation.
Yeah.
As soon as someone says that, now you got to take it, but that it dilutes it.
Yeah.
Like, we've both been down that road. We both understand the mental health situations of the kitchen.
Yeah.
We've both, I'm medicated up to bloody nines with my stuff to keep it, keep level and and just to keep it kind of manageable to not fly off the handle at people, because it's not. It's easy someone saying to you, "Stop getting mad," but if you've just been drilled in your head constantly that's how it's dealt with. It's hard to come away from that. So that medication's really helped me to just take that breath before I say anything, which has probably stopped me from getting in a lot more trouble.
Do you know what I've appreciated? That Burnt Chefs project.
Oh, it's good as that.
That's come up.
I'm not even a chef, were I?
No, I don't know.
So yeah, I met him. I went to a Burnt Chef. I went to one of the gala dinners, and it really went all out. They were really good. But I was just talking to him, and basically he saw his friend that were a chef looked absolutely knackered, and he's like, "I want to do some pictures of you." And he was a photographer, this guy, and he's taking pictures of him, and he wanted to do about mental health, and he said his friend looked knackered. And so he took his pictures of his mate in chef jackets and that, and he said, "I'm going to post it." He says, "I've built my entire career on becoming a hard chef, and you're going to post a picture of me looking upset?" Like, no, that's not happening. You're going to make me look weak. He went, "It's not weakness." He goes, it's mental health. And he went, "No, you ruined my career. I'll never get another kitchen." So he convinced him in the end to let him do the picture, and it was like an expedition or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And from that, he went, "Actually, that's quite sad that he felt like that."
Yeah.
So I looked into it, and there was nothing about. So he's got into that market and gone, "We need to just network this and help." And
do you think it has helped the industry?
Yeah, I think it's made a good impact, because it's give people places to turn. Whether or not they make money out of it, I don't know. Whether it's profitable or not, I don't know.
I think everything they sell, the profits. Like I say, I've not done a deep dive into the company. I don't know. This is just off the top of my head. I do think most of the profits go to the mental health charities. I was supposed to do in the ambassador course. So there's a course you can do to become an ambassador for your local area and stuff like that. There's a lot of chefs on there, and it's something I want to get done. But it's always like, I need to find time to get this done and dusted, and then you've got to do so many different either functions or different fundraisers or whatever. You've got to start doing that, and it's a hard thing to do, but I do believe it's worth it. But I don't have time at the moment. I want to get it done, but it's hard. It's not straightforward. It's just adding something else at the moment to a pile of things that's already piling up. So, just to tail off this first episode, we're going to do unspoken rules in the kitchen. So I'll say 2, and you say 2. You go first. What's an unspoken rule in the kitchen?
If you don't say backs, you're in trouble.
Backs are fucking...
That's for me, is like, if someone's walking behind you and they don't say backs, then they're not understanding the criteria of what they should be doing. What
if you're like army of 2? What if you know that person?
Well, that's different. You still will say
that.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh god, yeah. I work in a kitchen with 2 or 3 of us. Sometimes we'll be doing a function or whatever. If I'm walking behind someone's backs every single time, and we've drilled it into the front of the house as well, because that's just as important. They're walking behind me and I've got a knife. I turn round.
Yeah, that's different.
So
knife is different.
We say backs, and it's a thing of, if you don't say it, it's almost like persecuting them in the middle of the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you'll go, you need to say it behind. You just like talk them about it, and it's important.
Yeah.
Safety reasons, and because it's lingo, it's chef lingo.
Yeah. Mine would be. So there's a couple that come to my head, but mine would be using another chef's tools or kit. So like using another chef's knives. Like in the kitchen I work in now, like we do share knives quite a lot, they do get handed about a bit, but in previous jobs, like if you were to use another chef's knife, it's a massive no-no. Yeah. Like absolutely not. It's not happening.
On the back of that, imagine sharpening someone's knife for them.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, people do ask people to, you get chefs that are really good at sharpening, you're really good at doing it, so people go to you and say, "Can you keep an inch on that blade for us? I need that sorting," because that's...
But if you were to pick up another chef's blade and then just start running it down the steel, that's a massive no-no.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind people using my knives as long as I put them back and I respect them. Wash them, put them back. We pay a lot of money for his knives. We'll just look after it.
Yeah. Have you got another kitchen?
I think I've thought it. I don't want to go too off it, but there's a saying, and it's kind of a bit of a kitchen saying that I like to say, and it's if someone's walking to go to oven or something, they'd have a towel, and I always say it. A chef without a towel's like a whore without a condom. You just won't do it.
Wow. I mean, talk about X-rated, my God.
But it's the same. It is.
Sorry, there's no censorship on this. We can't censor.
It's true.
So you're saying somebody needs a towel?
Yeah.
Right.
If you're in the kitchen, you need to have a towel on you because you're gonna have to walk past another oven's gonna buzz. There's gonna be a pan on the stove. You searching around for a towel. That if you're cooking a piece of fish, you look for a towel. That takes you 20 seconds, and a second's like a lifetime of fish.
Yeah.
So why not just keep one on you?
I agree with that.
So first thing I do when I walk into the kitchen is
I think that's your OCD kicking into the fair.
Probably walk in, wash my hands, get a towel, and I'll start the section. And I won't go into the section. I've got to get a towel, and it's that thing. I get two, one either side, and then it's one to use and one to keep clean.
Onto that, right? EHO hate a towel on the shoulder. Now, I'm sorry to say this, whether you like it or not, I've always had a towel on my shoulder. I never put it in my apron, ever.
I took it in my apron, mate.
I just don't think they're easy to get to.
I do it so it's easy to whip round and just grab all the stuff.
No,
it's almost like a accessory.
And also, I tie my apron like a woman puts on her bra. I tie it and then I spin it round and then put the and then I put the
neck bit on.
What the neck bit? Yeah, we'll call it the neck bit. So, because I'm fat, I can't fucking tie it round front. So I have to tie it to the side, spin my apron round, and then flip it over top. So I can't, even if I wanted to put a towel in there.
We take the piss at work all the time about people wearing the amount of people that wear it different. It's just weird to me. It's like I've got one at chefs. He wears it so he'll tie it and then he puts the tied bit underneath the apron, so then you tuck it up. So you tie it around the front and then you put the thing over. So the knots on the inside of the thing, and that's weird to me.
I tell you what I did like when I first started chefing. We had the old school check trousers, and then the white, obviously the white jacket.
Yeah.
Pressed, and then we had a white cloth apron. It just looked immaculate.
Yeah.
But the new, my generation right now sits at the old school butcher's apron where they're like navy and stripes on.
Yeah.
But I know these cool chefs that are up and coming are all into the level, the
level ones,
the leveled up aprons. The level ones and things like that. So. Yeah, I get it, but we digress there from
a little bit. But
basically, what I'm saying is, I'm too fat to put an apron into my to put a towel into my apron, so I put it over my shoulder.
But as long as you got one, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Do you know what really pisses me off? Right, so this is my last gripe and an unspoken rule: wearing other people's shit. Now, once. We aren't joining on too long. I once worked at this place, right, and this fucking kid, I come in, he started first, they were doing breakfast. I come into the kitchen, I were running the place at the time, and I said, "Hi guys, you alright?" I checked in with everybody, made sure everybody were happy, service went fine, the breakfast service. Then I went into the back to get changed. Puts my apron on. I put my trousers on, put my jacket on, put my apron on, look for my shoes aren't there. I looked in the locker, no shoes. I looked outside at corridor, no fucking shoes. I go out to the kitchen, right, and there's this young commie, right, with my fucking shoes on.
Unbelievable.
I said to him, whose shoes are they? And he went, "Oh, I don't know, I just got them out the back." I went, "They're my fucking shoes." How would you have the audacity to wear somebody else's chef shoes? So my unwritten rule is, don't wear other people's shit. Because now I didn't want to use them shoes anymore. I don't know where his greasy ass feet would be.
Oh yeah. I couldn't think of anything worse than just walking around someone's shoes all day.
But he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. He was just pottering away, just chefing away, peeling his spuds. It's my fucking shoes. Not normal, that.
Oh, that's not right, is it?
So
proper dirty.
So I bought new shoes. I don't know whether that were... And at that time I was wearing Birkies.
Oh.
Digressing again, Berkey's £120 now.
Yeah, that's a joke, is that?
It's not even normal. It's not fair, that. But anyway, that's another rant for another time.
Yeah. Crocs off thing, that's another one.
Yeah. I do like a Croc though, I'm sorry.
I've first pair. I've had my first pair now.
You like them?
They're alright actually, yeah. They're just a bit, I don't know, it's a bit hard to get used to it. No. If I drop a pan, I know I'm going to hurt my son. That's what I don't like.
But I'm on the new age era. Skechers, game changer.
Are the steel toe cap?
They're not steel toe cap.
Never Crocs, to be fair.
What fucking chef do you know wears steel toe caps?
I know a guy that wears full-on steel toe cap Doc Martens in the kitchen, so safe.
Right.
I don't know why he does that.
So if there's any of you out there, what chefs actually wear steel toe caps? If you do, tell us why. Because I'd like to know. Because walking about for 12 hours, 14 hours a day with steel toe caps, absolutely not.
No, it hurts.
But that's a lesson for another day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, it's getting late. We're currently burning the midnight oil. We hope you've enjoyed our first episode. It is a test theory. So yeah, we'll try to work on the audio. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again for episode 2. If anybody's got any comments or what they want us to talk about, most people that are listening at the moment are probably people who know us. But if you want us to talk about something or bring something up, then let us know, and yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'll talk about pass. Talking from behind the pass.
Behind the pass. Behind the pass, Dan. So we hope, me and Dan hope you have a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stay behind the pass.
Wait.
Thank you.